The final film for the final girl. What can I say? The people of Haddonfield are awful. Halloween ends. As you may know, this franchise has had many endings as well as many reboots. This brings a close to the David Gordon Green trilogy that started with the requel of Halloween in 2018. Halloween Kills came out a year ago, and yeah, it was like the Empire Strikes Back of Halloween films. I mean, Judy Greer's character, as Laurie's daughter, was killed by Michael. This film picks up with a time jump. And I have to say, this is a very different film than what I was expecting. It definitely had a vibe of like Scream meets Halloween 3 Season of the Witch and The Lost Boys. It was very character driven compared to the previous ones. If you had a problem with the gore and the intensity of Halloween Kills, you might like this one. With the exception of the ending, this film is shot more like the original John Carpenter film. There's a lot of flashback sequences, but there are also a lot of shots that are very reminiscent of the mood and tone of the 1978 original film. And I'm so happy that Jamie Lee Curtis is executive producer of this, because unlike the previous film series where they undid H20's ending, this one is a definite end, and it's a much needed end. And I have to say, despite its flaws and direction, it is a satisfying conclusion and a fulfilling conclusion on this 44-year-long journey we have been through. And I love it. It would be great to watch Halloween with this trilogy, as well as Halloween, Halloween 2, and Halloween H20. In my opinion, I think H20 is still the better conclusion as far as how epic it feels. But if I have to say something, I think the trilogy that was Halloween, Halloween 2, and H20 is like the legend. And this is like the reality of what happened. You know, in the original one, Michael and Laurie were brother sister. There was a whole devil rose, like the thorn cult, and him being like a supernatural creature. This one, it is evil itself, and I did wonder if he was supernatural in Kills. No, they kind of grounded a bit more like in the 2018 one. This is more of the reality, but it's also a movie about getting over grief and moving on in life. You know, Michael was locked up in an asylum, and Laurie, in that 40-year period between the original film and the first in 2018, she created her own prison. And now she's trying to move on. But this time, evil finds her again. And I have to say, I really dug this film. You know, from the opening, it definitely had a Halloween Season of the Witch vibe. You'll know what I mean. With a little bit of Halloween 2's opening. I still wish we had the skull opening, but the opening was very reminiscent of the original Halloween 2 opening from 1981. I have to say, Allison, it was great seeing her again. The actress, Andi Matichak, does a fantastic job in this trilogy. Yeah, it was great seeing how she handled the grief because, you know, she lost her mother. Laurie did not only lose her daughter, but the granddaughter, Allison, lost both her parents in that Halloween of 2018. And it was great seeing how two different generations of women in the same family deal with grief and deal with being a survivor and a victim. But also we get to see the town. The town itself is just so crappy to everybody. There's this new character named Corey who was babysitting on Halloween of 2019, and there was an altercation with the kid, and he accidentally pushed him off a staircase, and the kid dies. It was an accident, but everybody looks at him as if he's a murderer. So there's that connection there. There's a new love interest for Allison in this, and it feels a connection with Laurie. That's also a driving force for the plot of this movie. And overall, I like it. I like the soundtrack, how it's shot. Some of the kills, while brief, are pretty brutal. Like, holy crap. This film, they really revealed a lot in the trailer. Like, almost everything was in the trailer, and it made it feel lackluster. That being said, this film, in my opinion, I would give it a B, but it went to an A- with the last 20 minutes. The last 20 minutes was beautiful. That showdown is so intense, so relentless that it does not let go, and it gives a satisfying closure for all the characters, in my opinion. And yeah, I would give Halloween Ends an A-. It's a very different film, and I have to think about the ranking. I like H20 and maybe Halloween 4, Halloween 2, and Halloween over this one. And I like the horror vibe and kills of the second one, Halloween Kills from last year. But this, like I said, while it's not strong on the horror scare department, is strong on character. This is a better made film, I think, than Kills. It would have been interesting to see how the trilogy was supposed to be when they were supposed to be all in one night. You could tell that Halloween and Halloween Kills were maybe supposed to be one movie and they split them up. I don't know. I just feel like all the ideas were in those two films. But overall, this is a solid conclusion. And yeah, thank you, Jamie Lee Curtis, Blumhouse, everyone, John Carpenter, David Gordon Green. Like, the whole cast and crew did wonderful on here, on this movie, and it was great seeing the final girl go out on her terms this time around. Now on to more spoilers. I also like Will Patton. I forgot to mention that earlier. I like Will Patton. He's great in everything, and it's nice seeing the relationship with him and Laurie. But Corey, God, it was just so horrible seeing this, and then this kid. And they kind of did a cop-out. He becomes like the new Michael in essence, basically. And that vibe with Allison and the motorcycle and going into like this weird sewer gave me some Lost Boys vibes. It really did. And then with two of them being kind of like Scream of two killers. I at first thought Corey was going to be another killer during the 2018 and 2021 Halloween. Like, I really did, because like I was wondering, how did he get injured from a bunch of people and then end up going back at his house? I thought there was maybe two killers in two different locations. They didn't do that. They actually created an original story and origin for that, which I like. And it's crazy how he manipulated Laurie. A lot of the fight felt like an afterthought in this. It felt very rushed, and I didn't feel that epic quality that H20 had of like, this is the end. These two forces are about to collide, and this is what happens. I didn't really feel that until the end. But I wasn't bored either. It's strange. It's a very different film, what I have to say. It's a very, very different film. But overall, there are moments that I thought the previous two films did better, but moments in this that I actually liked more. And it was a satisfying ending, and I'm just glad Laurie got to make it out. Everybody got to make it out, and Michael was finally dead, and they made sure his ass stayed dead this time around. So yeah, I was afraid how this movie was going to be. I was going to sell the previous two, but if it wasn't like good, if they were going to have a horrible, horrible ending, while it wasn't the best it could have been and what it promised, I have to say it was nice seeing Laurie Strode get some closure finally. And she deserves it after 44 years. So we have two solid Halloween Laurie Strode trilogies in a way, or a quadrilogy if you count the new films. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below. Have you seen Halloween Ends? Did you go to see it in the theaters or Peacock? I saw it on Peacock. I was going to go see it at the cinema, but I got a year deal with Peacock, so it was only $1.99 a month. I was like, I'm going to save some money and just eat me some Halloween cookies and watch this. So that's what I did. Let me know your thoughts on the film down in the comments below. In the meantime, you can subscribe for more videos and check out these other videos for more content. May everyone stay safe and healthy out there, and happy Halloween. Be on the lookout for my Halloween franchise ranking.